Okay, I want to explain more of this money idea I'm talking about. Sorry, my volume is low because I'm recording in the middle of the night and other people are sleeping. It seems like I get ideas at night, not during the day. As I was saying, that the best policy that Zimbabwe must take, and if Zimbabwe takes this policy, we will be the richest country in Africa. We probably rank one of the best in the world, if not number one in the future. So listen very careful to what I'm going to say in this video. It's very critical. You know, I'm not going to use fancy political and economic words, but get the gist of the matter. I was talking about printing money, what people call printing money, what economists will call quantitative easing. Basically, what that means is that we invent um, a bank balance. Most people do not know this, but I'm not going to get into details. You can read other citations, whatever, or how money is created. Okay, money is an invention. There's no tree that produces money. Okay, money comes from the head of the Reserve Bank governor. He just wakes up in the morning and decides that I want the Zimbabwe economy to have $10 more million. Just like this is there. So I'm gonna carry on the understanding that you understand that. But if you don't pause, go watch another YouTube video that explains to you but where money comes from. Then when you understand, you can come back here, then you can carry on talking. Now, I was saying that we need to print more money in Zimbabwe to get the economy running. And I will know that other people would question that and say, no, you will create hyperinflation. And then I will tell you that in the past 10 years or so, the major economies of the world have been hyper printing money, but we do not have hyperinflation. And even though we've got some inflation, it's not hyperinflation. In some of these economies, they've been seeking inflation anyway. I mean, from after the 2008 crisis, Americans and the Europeans have been looking for inflation. They're going through deflationary spirals, so they needed to print more money. Japan has been printing money for many years, but they had deflation. So expanding your monetary policy or printing a lot of money doesn't always lead to hyperinflation. It depends on other economic fundamentals that are at play, and also how you manage that printing. And when you print the money, it depends on what you use the money for. And I'm going to explain to the Zimbabwean context how it can help us and how it can hurt us if we do it the wrong way. If we do it the wrong way, and if we've got the wrong people doing it, we've got the wrong mindset. And because the wrong people, when they don't understand it, is when they begin to use money as a commodity for self enrichment, themselves only monopolizing that wealth, that money. I want you to think of money not as wealth. You understand? It's point number one that I'm going to make. Money is not wealth. Stop chasing money. Chase wealth. Now, I will tell you what wealth is and what money is. Wealth is food, your gold, your tobacco, clothes, things that you produce and are actually usable, whether they are tangible things or they are intangible things. Like education is wealth. To know information is wealth. But money is not wealth. Money is a medium of exchange. The medium to exchange the wealth thereof. Now, if you don't understand this thing, you're going to lose me. Please understand it very clearly. Money is not wealth. Don't interject when I'm talking because you will not understand it. Money is not wealth. Money means nothing. Okay. Money has got no value at all. So stop chasing money because money has got no value. Don't be too smart because I will explain it further. Money has got no value. What has got value is the things that are produced by producers, either goods or services. That is what has got value, and that is wealth. So the value of money itself is in its ability to facilitate the trading system. So that is where it gets its first value. Except that, let me give you this another example. If you were to go to Mars right now with a loaf of bread, and I go to Mars with you with $1 million in the bag, let me tell you something. That's when you understand that money has got no value. You won't eat money at Mars, but you will eat bread and live. Do you get the picture now? What I'm talking about when I'm saying that money is not wealth. The wealth is the goods and services that we actually need to use. Even though later on I will tell you that money has got utility, of which its first utility is its ability to facilitate the trading of the other goods and services, the other utilities. So its first utility, money is like its first utility is that thing to facilitate. So do not chase the thing that facilitates. Chase what it facilitates. Chase the goods and the services. Chase the education. Chase the knowledge. Chase the resources that you can touch. Chase the farming. Produce the tomatoes, onions, and stuff. That's what you must be chasing. Do not chase the paper. Now, the distortions in the system come when a human being realizes that, okay, so I can use money to buy something, and because I produce something also, I can give what I produce. Instead of being given a barter trade, I'll be given money in the meantime, because money is something that you keep in the meantime before you exchange what you produced for what you will want in the future. So if I produced 1,000 tomatoes, and the 1,000 tomatoes can be exchanged to 1,000 onions, I obviously don't need 1,000 onions today, so I can sell all my 1,000. I can sell all my 1,000. But I'm seeing illusions. I can sell all my 1,000 onions. I can sell all my 1,000 onions. Sorry, I'm now lost. I can sell my 1,000 tomatoes today, but I do not need 1,000 onions today. I need 1 onion a day. So money becomes that thing that will say 1,000 onions. I can take 1 onion today, another tomorrow. So I can have something that I can keep for 1,000 days instead of keeping tomatoes for 1,000 days exchanging one tomato for an onion every single day, they will rot. So that is your first utility of money. It's called the store of value. Now, because the system has become complex, people now realize that, okay, if I just chase that store of value whichever way I can, I don't have to produce anything. That is when you really get the corruption. The corruption is when you get people who steal money, who counterfeit money, people who are friends with ministers and reserve bank governors who have got access to foreign currency at a low price. Then they hire their boys who sell that money in the street at a higher price, doing it over and over and over again, eroding the value of the whole country. That greed erodes the value of the issuer, which means I told you that the money is valuable because of trust. Trust is lost between the issuer and the public. Therefore, because this value is being eroded, even the other people lose confidence in the issuer, confidence in the system, because the system is run by people. When the people lose confidence in the system that is run by the people, they lose confidence in the people, they will always want to get away of that money in favor of other monies which are better store of values. So in Zimbabwe, in the Zimbabwean case, the Zim dollar is no longer favored by the market to store the value. So the market favors the US dollar because the market trusts the US government, trusts the Federal Reserve, but does not trust the Minister of Finance and the Reserve Bank government because of their actions. Okay, that's what it is. All right. So for the system to work, you need to have the right people of unquestionable characters. You can have a guy who ran a bank, stole money from that bank, and then you come and make him finance minister. You know, sometimes they are so serious, man. Serious. There will be no trust in the system. There will be no trust. I can tell you policy upon policy, it will not matter because what matters is people. People matter. Who is running policy matters. Who is so as far as money is concerned, the true value of money. I told that money has got no intrinsic value. Okay. Now I am disqualifying that and now telling you the flip side. Well, I know some of you were saying, I know it has got some value, it is blah. So now I'm qualifying where the value comes from. At ceteris paribus, or with all things being equal, money has no value. But now I'm coming to qualify that when not all things are equal anyway. So this is where the value comes from. It's a store of value, and we need trust. We need trusted institutions. So for Zimbabwe to move forward, we need monetary systems, institutions that are trusted, with people that can be trusted. It's about people, actually. You can't run away from it. It's about individuals. Understand? If those individuals can inspire confidence and use money for what money should be used for, is a store of value, not to manipulate the system. Because now you are sophisticated, you say like, okay, I know that money actually has got no value, but now that people trust it, instead of doing barter trade, people trust to receive money, to hold on to money instead of holding on to their goods they produced. They hold on to money and keep money for use in the future. So I will come up with a sneaky way of accumulating money, even though I don't produce any good, I don't produce any service, but I will just find ways of siphoning the money from those that have it. In the long back when money used to be gold, do you know how they used to siphon? People will be cut a little bit of gold, a gold coin. They will cut a little bit of, because I would say this thing is worth 5 gold coins. Someone pays me 5 gold coins. Before I sell them, I just cut a little bit of all those coins. It's still a coin. Him also, he will cut a little bit. As time goes on, that coin loses its value. That's what it means. That is the corruption that we are dealing with. So it needs the right people that are there. So now, if we can sort that thing out, I don't know, we need a prophet. I will lay hands on you. If we can sort that out, now we can move forward in understanding how can we build a monetary system in Zimbabwe that will make us number one in the world. So let me get into that. This is the point. The point is that we need to create these monetary values. Okay, supposedly out of thin air. Why? Because we want to spare production. Production of what? Production of what we need. So we're not just producing for the sake of production. We are producing because there is a demand for those things. All right. We need health services. So we need money to develop those things. We need to educate our children. We need infrastructure development. We need food. So all that money that you create towards those sectors, that money, remember, is borrowed money, which is created out of thin air. Therefore, it's expansionary. But you will say that it is inflationary. But I'm trying to show you how it cannot be inflationary. It's only inflationary when you steal the money. It's only inflationary when your friends are thieves. But when you don't, you grab that money and then put it into agriculture, reap a harvest. The harvest, therefore, is more valuable than the money that you created. You understand? Such that you can repay back the money and cancel it out of the system altogether and still have some profit left. But as I told you, or maybe if you listen to other videos, you cannot really fully cancel that money anymore because that money needs to circulate in the economy. But as far as the guy is concerned who borrowed the money from the bank, they have paid the bank. But the actual money, the actual value is not going to be cancelled. It's still going to be circulating around. So that's how the money will keep on expanding, and there will be no inflation because it is actually used as a lubricant for the system to keep on going. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Now, also in other sectors, what brings production to a halt most of the time is that they say there is no money. So that is the solution. I'm saying that you cannot stop production in a country because there is no money. Because money is there. It is in the head of the Reserve Bank governor. You can just dream it up. You understand? But the reason why they don't do it sometimes is because of mistrust, one, and sometimes it's because of jealousy. We don't want Mazezuru to succeed. stupid things like that. To understand? But if we were to cool down and sit down on the table and say, we want to build a country, whatever is productive, whatever project is investable and is critical, it must not lack money. You see, in America, they had what they call too big to fail. The banks that were too big to fail. In the 2008 financial crisis, when the big banks were falling, they needed to be liquidated. They needed some liquidity, which means they needed some money, which they didn't have. So what the government did is that the government borrowed on their behalf and then gave and borrowed to the banks, and the banks paid it back. It was to save the financial system, which was okay. It was politically difficult to maneuver, but it was okay. Well, that was clearly money that was being created out of thin air. It's not like the government had that money. The government didn't have the money. They took the money from the Federal Reserve. But politicians, they're very clever. They will say that taxpayers' money, it wasn't taxpayers' money, it was just printed money. Okay? Now, we can do the same thing in Zimbabwe. The agricultural sector can be revived by this quantitative easing. The education sector can be revived. You have got other sectors that do not bring in, that do not clearly bring in returns, financial returns, like the policing, yet it's an essential service. That is the one which really has to be covered by taxpayers' money. Understand? Also, like the military, it has to be covered by the taxpayers' money. But when we talk about agriculture, when we talk about the infrastructure for ZESA, for example, if you borrow ZESA a long-term loan, over time they will pay back because they're a business, right? Okay. So, all things that are a business are expected to pay back the money. So, as long as those businesses are viable, it makes economic sense to create money for them, and knowing that they will make profit and then they will pay back the money. And that is not hyperinflationary. It may be inflationary, but not hyperinflationary. But of course, inflation is important in an economy. You do not want stagflation. You do want a reasonable level of inflation. It's another topic altogether. So, as you get the economy running, what is the importance of getting all of these things running? The importance is that you have got people that are now working. Because they are working, now they can feed themselves. They can educate their children. They can be taken care health-wise. We can have a policing system and national defense system. So the engine is firing from all corners. So we are doing this to answer the real problems that we have. The problem of unemployment. Break it down and understand this. What is unemployment? The problem isn't that people want to work or whatever. The problem is that people want a place to sleep, clothes to wear, and food to eat. That costs. Since that costs money, Therefore, people have to become economic agents. That is why they have to work. Understand? So all these projects, they create that needed employment so that the employed people can make money. And that money that they make is needed so that they can spend back in the economy so that the engine can keep on going on and on and on and on. So now the job of the government and development economies and all the agencies that are developing the economy of Zimbabwe is to be looking in those developmental goals and tapping into this policy of expanding this expansionary monetary policy to make sure that the money is directed on the sectors that will bring profitability to the nation. So as long as the projects by and large are profitable, not just financially profitable, but also adding to the social coefficient of some sort, you are moving in the right direction. And all of this new money, this created money, all that it does, this is where I answer your question that is it deflationary or not? It's not deflationary. All that it does is that it brings out, therefore, the wealth of the nation. The true wealth of the nation. I told you that true wealth is not money. True wealth is the goods and services you have produced. What this money will do will enable you, therefore, to bring out that true wealth, which is it will get you to be producing. Because of this money that will come in, you will produce in the field, you will produce in the mines, you will manufacture the goods. Understand? So the gross domestic product will perpetually increase according to the needs of the economy. All of this, it just gushed out because we opened this floodgate, because we were like stuck as Zimbabwe. We were stuck and we were sick. What I was stuck of was stuck because we say we don't have money. Yet we do have money. It's in our head. It's in the head of the Reserve Bank. They can just imagine it. Once money is there, so you see, you do not have a financial problem. You don't have a money problem. In the world, there's no money problem. There's no financial problem. If you watch developed economies, they don't have a problem of not having enough money. If they say that to you, they'll be lying. That's what I'm debunking, that our politicians are being lied to by the Western governments. Because Western governments have got no shortage of money. Even if you hear them say so, they will be lying. Money is just created from thin air. It's just that when you create it, you need to produce, you need to use it in the right places. Because if you use it wrongly, for example, you print money, and then you only use it to pay the soldiers and the police who are just going to protect you to stay in power and produce nothing. You're not producing no power. You are in power, but in the country there is no power. Why are you printing the money? That in itself is inflation, because there will be so much money chasing fewer goods. Thank you, Lord. This is where the inflation comes from. Too much money chasing fewer goods. But if you print too much money and produce too much goods, you are cancelling out the inflation through the production of the goods. Hence, I am saying that this is not inflationary, because the more you print, the more goods you produce. So that extra money is going to meet the extra goods and services that you are creating in the economy. All that is run by the people that run the economy. Understand? The ministries and the developmental agencies of the nation that are running that. Understand what I'm talking about? That is when now you are marrying your monetary policy, your fiscal policy, your developmental policy, your industrial policy. You understand? That is where they marry and merge together and begin to cook up a transformative economic growth engine that will make so much noise you will forget that you were once in what you call it, in sanctions. Say thank you, Wazondo. Say thank you. Okay, yeah, appreciate. Comment down. Don't just listen. Comment down and say what you think about what I've been telling you, so that I can expand my mind and speak more. If people ask questions, if you don't ask questions, I will not know. I'm not the Holy Ghost. I walk with the Holy Ghost, but I'm not the Holy Ghost who knows everything. I'm not a ghost yet. Please don't make me a ghost. Now, I will make another video. I don't know about what. Thank you very much. See you later.